Welcome to the Heart of Commerce podcast. My name is Melissa Miller, and I'm the president of the Burleson Area Chamber of Commerce. And I, of course, have my amazing co-host today, Drew Myers, back with me.
Howdy. I just want you to use a different adjective every time. This time it was amazing.
Yes.
I like that one. That's one of my favorites.
Well, I do. I have a little book that I keep in my pocket, and I go, oh, that one.
It's called a thesaurus.
Right. Yes, that.
Let's ride.
But in other news, we have an amazing guest today with us.
Another amazing.
Another Myers.
Another Myers.
Oh, yes. Another amazing Myers. Roxanne Myers, but this one actually owns a winery. Lost Oak Winery,
Yes.
to be exact. Welcome, dear. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hi.
So I'm going to start this episode by asking you,
Oh, this is different. I don't usually.
why did you want to bring Roxanne on? I know because we visited before we hit record on this, but why did you want to bring her on?
Well, I don't know if you've met Roxanne. Actually, I know the answer to that. You haven't, but she's so much fun. I do feel like you're so much fun, but you have a really great way of, like you said earlier when we were talking behind the scenes, of keeping things fresh. And you've really brought to life the winery, and the wine's delicious, even though I didn't ask for any. That was my fault. Sorry. Well, you don't even drink.
Nope.
Forget it. We could have had a great time.
had a great time.
But she just has such a fantastic vibrancy. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And really, like I said, you bring life to it. And just when you go to Lost Oak, if you've been, you can just see and feel just this, how fun it is. And yet it's relaxed. There's always something going on. And I think everybody needs to know about that. And they need to know the lady behind it. It
I
makes
agree.
the things happen.
Thank you.
Now, I mentioned to you that I have actually done an event out there, a private event,
Yes.
with a buddy of mine, and it's unbelievable. It truly is.
Yes.
It is a great venue, and it has grown over the last 19 years. We were talking about that a little bit. So what I want you to do, Roxanne, out of the gate is kind of sell it to people that have never been out there.
The elevator pitch.
No, not necessarily the elevator pitch. I just want to paint a beautiful picture of Lost Oak Winery.
Right. I call us, having been in Burleson now for a little while, I call us the diamond in the rough, right?
So good.
So if you leave south of Fort Worth and you exit the Burleson exit, it's got about 20 stoplights and every fast food joint that you can imagine. And there's houses all the way north of you, and there's houses south of it, well, behind you. And you go down this road that doesn't feel like you're in the Metroplex. And that's what I love about it. Because you're out of the city, but you're a mile and a half from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, well, how do you have a vineyard and a winery 20 minutes from Fort Worth? And it's 50 acres. 30 of it's wooded. So it's a 2.5 mile hike and bike trail, which I secretly plotted to do. I was looking for the right partner. We have a Wicked Wine Run out there every year, and they carve the path for me.
That's awesome.
So that's like you just get on your bike and then you drink before, after, or during, either way. And I feel like when you get there, you feel like you're in your backyard, kind of.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about the mess.
Yes.
And you don't have to entertain. And we've got something for everyone. We've got wine, food, we've got events, we've got hiking, we've got, it's relaxing.
Yes. It really is. Like
It
when
really
you said
is.
you go, it's like in your own backyard, it feels that cozy. The light, like I'm a sucker for a twinkle light. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. And it's so beautiful out there.
Yeah.
It really does feel like you're in your own backyard, but like it's better because there's not the neighbor right there, like over the fence and whatever. It's just beautiful. And I didn't even know about the hiking trails until like
Just
COVID. Well, no,
Just
no, but during COVID, a friend of mine and I, she was like, hey, let's go here. And I was like, what are you even talking about?
Right.
And I love it.
Well, what we get a lot is people didn't even know we make wine. And that's the trigger. I'm like, what? So initially, my mom got tired of answering that question. So we put a vineyard in the front, right? That's a great way to solve that problem.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's
Look
like
here.
a very expensive way to solve that problem. You could put a neon sign and said, hey, we make wine.
Nope.
But no, we got to put a vineyard in.
Yeah,
So we put a
prettier.
vineyard in, but we try to push the tours, but most people want to come and play, which is actually our MO, right? Come play. We entertain everybody, but we make wine and nobody can believe it. And they get there and they do the full blown tour. And we've got 20 tanks, 300 barrels, full production system. And they're like, wow, there's a lot that goes into this. I was like, who would have known if you came out for dueling pianos? How much really goes into dueling pianos, right? So
what's interesting is I asked her, was wine the plan? And Roxanne looked at me and she goes, yes, it was the plan. Tell people about your stepdad in France and how this all came to be.
Right. He's been making wine in his bathtub. He was making wine in his bathtub in a dry precinct in Texas because he's a microbiologist, right? By training, if you will, right? And he spent most of his career in the pharmaceutical industry, but he loves making wine. That's his first passion. My first passion is not a love for making wine. I do like to drink it.
Yes.
But I have a very complementary set of interests and skills to Gene, and not that that's why he brought me on, but we lived together. So Gene's my stepdad, right? They married when I was like 15. And after my first year in college, I went to Alsace and lived with them, and Gene was kind of honing his white wine making skills, right? And I think he was secretly plotting to open the winery without telling my mother. And they had bought a piece of property. They were trying to acquire the second piece of property. And this whole time he was planning to make wine and sell wine. So I was living so that was his master plan. He ended up he went back for a second career, opened up the winery in 2006. And I was living in South America at the time, right? So in Ecuador, I was ready to leave. I've been there for 2 years or 3. And I was ready to leave, and he was recruiting. He got a consultant that said, hey, the best way to have a winery for a long period of time is to recruit a family member. So he knocked on everybody's door, and I'm the one that took the bait because I was ready to do something different. So I came up from South America, worked in the tasting room, and I've done every job, basically every job. So I want to say that it was the intention all along. It was not my intention necessarily, but you fall in love. Wine is something you can fall in love with, not because of the wine, because of the work and the effort that goes into vintage after vintage after vintage. And we have on our white wine label, we rebranded last year, 2 years ago maybe, and we have 3 different labels. One, it's Lost Oak, right? So it's an oak leaf, but on our white wine label, it's the rings of a tree. And the play is that you really perfect the art and the craft of winemaking. You never perfect it. But it's built on vintage after vintage, and it's wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse. And then you hopefully, over time, you get better and better at the craft. And you hone that craft. But it's a lifetime pursuit. It just never, the learning curve never goes away. Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you mentioned before we hit record, 250 events.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Now, I'm sure you haven't had 250 out of the gate. This is something that has evolved over the last 19 years, right?
Yeah.
How did that happen? What are some of your favorite events? Just talk about all the different events that you guys do at Lost Oak.
So we have a tasting room that's open to the public. So we do public facing events like dueling pianos, murder mystery, just live music. I was saying we had a loteria event last week. That was kind of fun. We do music bingo, just anything. Our goal, one of our mission statements, our value statements is we want to make wine approachable, fun, and friendly. So it's not this, you don't go in, it's not like Napa or even Bordeaux. And if you go in some regions of Napa and Bordeaux, Sonoma, Central Coast, wine's stuffy, it's hard. You feel intimidated by wine, right? We've tried to break down all of those barriers with the events, right? So at our tasting room, we'll do about 150 events a year. I think my numbers are off. It's about 136. And then the remainder are at the venue.
For a very precise.
Well, I have a goal and I got to meet the goal. And so I know exactly the number of events. But at the venue, we host stuff for the Chamber of Commerce. We'll do business after hours. We do speaker events like the one, Drew, that you attended. We'll do weddings, quinceañeras, any kind of special event. So special occasion. And what we found, which is really cool, is that we've found that people celebrate this one special occasion at the winery, whether it's a proposal, a wedding, I met this person here, or we celebrated my dad's, any kind of special life event. And I wouldn't even just say special, it could be any kind of life event. And then they'll come back to the winery and be like, this is where we celebrated X, Y, or Z. And so even in our public facing events or our private events, it's always memorable. We make a memory.
Yeah.
Right? So our
Absolutely.
tagline's memories in a glass.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Is there one over all of these years that really stood out to you that you're like, oh my gosh, this is why I do what I do?
The catastrophes are the ones you remember.
Okay. Give me one of those. Give me a
So we
catastrophe
had a
story.
Motown event, and this guy was a
Okay.
DJ. He was killer. He did probably about 20% Motown songs and
Okay.
80%. Why are you singing that? Because this is called a Motown event.
Yeah.
But it was just like a mosh pit. Everybody loved it. His DJ, his vocals. And I had the lawn filled with like 700 people. Everybody ticketed. And I'm like, David, where are you? Oh, I double booked myself. I'm in Dallas. I'm like, oh, that's not cool. So we had to give everybody free stuff and get him to come back. And it's just like this catastrophe.
Can I get a good story now? I mean,
it wasn't as bad as the last one we talked about before we started. No, I like art. What do you like?
I like everything. I
know.
I
That's the
know
thing.
that
It's really
sounds
hard to
so-
pick.
But like even the hiking, it's just like there's not a place like that around here to go hike. Like it's just nice. I'm not going to get lost. I don't have to worry. Like I even walking around the neighborhood the other day, there was a sketchy guy, and I picked up the pencil I found on the ground as like
an arm.
you know, just that's all I had.
Yes.
Yeah. Keep your looks to yourself, but
Right.
I don't have to worry about that there.
Yeah.
But Sarah and I, my friend,
Yes.
we used to go out there all the time. We have shut down Lost Oak many a time.
And what happens at
then
the
be
winery
like,
stays at the winery.
always, yes.
Yes. We don't judge.
Yeah. And, you know, they'll be like, I'm going to need y'all to go now.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Oh, sorry.
okay. You had Yappy Hour with
Yappy hour.
what is
the
that?
shelter dogs get to
Oh,
come
okay.
out, or
Yeah.
you bring your own dog out. Like, it's just cute. There's wine and dogs outside under lights. Like, how does this
Live
not get better?
We do a lot of partners with non-for-profits, or if you have
Yes.
a fundraiser event, we try to work with you so that you don't have to pay for the venue. And if you sell wine enough to meet the cost of the venue, then you owe nothing, right?
I was just at an event
Century
on
Cares
Saturday.
on
Yes,
Saturday.
Century
Good.
Cares. Again with Sarah. I'm noticing a pattern here, but it was really beautiful out there. And
Yeah.
then while we're having this event in the venue, simultaneously there's this really fun something going on out on the lawn on like the
Right.
main area, and it's just so lively, but
Yes.
cozy and not pretentious. It
Right.
just is like it's just welcoming, and the wine is good.
The wine is good. We've been doing it for 20 years. We've been doing it longer than that. Our executive winemaker has been making wine for 46 vintages. I'm like, and he's not almost dead either. I mean, this guy started really early. So, yeah.
Now, the winery has evolved. I mean, you mentioned that the event center where I did my speaking thing, that would you say went online in 2016?
Right.
So kind of talk about the evolution and then talk about where it could possibly go.
This is a good question.
Thank you.
I think the misconception on business growth in a wine business is that it can't be fast. You can't, unless you have millions, scaling a winery is very hard to do. And if you meet, all the financial advice that you get is it's every 3 years. You can grow every 3 years because you put the grape in the ground, the vine in the ground, and it's 3 years before it produces, before you should pick the fruit off the vine, and it actually produces any significant amount. And then it's another 2 to 3 years before you can produce wine from it. So you're talking like a 6-year cycle if you want to put a grapevine in. So it's just, and it's expensive. So I'm buying fruit today for sales in 3 years. So, you can imagine the capital. It's just a lot of capital tied up in all your inventory. So and if you think about the oldest wine regions of the world, they are centuries old, generational businesses. This is not something that's just, so 20 years to me seems like forever. But in the wine world, it's like just a blimp in time. It doesn't count. And it's a little frustrating for me because I want to go and I want to drive and I want to do new things. And my outlet for that kind of growth and new things is the events.
Yes.
Or other kind of amenities. But to grow the business, it's so hard. So it's a creative outlet more than like a business growth proposition. So that being said, it's been slow growth. And I think it's more fiscally responsible to do a slow growth path because I've already seen some Texas wineries that are folding because they put too many resources into growth. Honestly, they grew too fast. So where we've come today is, one of the biggest movers in our business is our wine club. So I'm honing back in our wine club. And if we can recruit more wine club members, it's the prosperity of the winery can endure the next decade or two, honestly. We opened, the event center in 2016, but we also put in a new tasting room down in Fredericksburg in 2012. And it was a little bit, for lack of a better word, a co-op model. It was 3 brands. And so we opened up kind of a hill country location in 2012. So that's still there, of course. And then we opened up a new location in Boerne, Texas, which I love because it's a very community minded. They're super involved. They have a great community. And so we opened that up last year in a historic building. So unique locations, unique experiences. That's kind of our MO.
Yeah.
And community and making it approachable and unpretentious. Yes. And I think we've accomplished that down there. We're a year old. So.
Okay.
So what's next? I didn't answer the latter part of the question.
Well, yeah. What's next?
I'm working on a site plan to expand Burleson. We haven't invested, in my opinion, enough resources in just the tasting room. Okay. So we'll add more amenities to the Burleson location and bigger. I mean, it's small. It doesn't fit the number of people that we have through there.
Okay. Can I ask a stupid wine question?
Please do.
So you can go there, you can go to the tasting room, and I'm sure you can purchase the wine there. But can I go to like a grocery store or a gas station or a liquor store and buy your wine?
Not really.
Okay. I didn't know. For all
practical purposes, no.
Okay.
Yeah, we sell to several restaurants. It's more of a marketing angle for us to sell to restaurants, and they call them on-premise or off-premise establishments. We are the exclusive wine supplier at Acre Distilling in Fort Worth. Very good. So that's kind of fun. Like Tony's funny. He's a blast. So we don't typically do distribution. If someone calls and wants to carry our wine, we're not going to say no. But we don't have a sales rep or broker that's dedicated to that.
Okay, I was just curious.
So we can buy online, e-com.
Oh, is that a big deal?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to elaborate on that, or let's just move on?
That's good.
So, do you sell enough wine to make this all worth your while, or is it about the events and about having a wedding there? Like, I'm just curious about the business model, I guess.
The diversification of revenue, it's about 30% events, right? It's about 40% wine, 35% wine club. And then can you do the math on that? Do you have a phone? Okay, so 30, 35, that's 65. That's it? Uh-huh. And there's a small, so 5% is merchandise and other things, right?
So talk about the wine club just a little bit. You mentioned it, but what does that mean?
A traditional wine club is like the business model, a recurring revenue model, right? Mm-hmm. Just like you're a member of everything. You're a member of Prime, Netflix, Disney,
the gym.
Subscription, the gym, whatever you want to do. And you're probably subscribing to things that you don't even know you're subscribing to.
Also true.
Also true. And the traditional wine club model is you receive wine at a discount 2 to 6 times a year. And that entitles you to several other benefits. And if you're a repeat visitor to Lost Oak and you like wine, it only makes sense because you get 20 to 25% discount. And you get free tours and free tastings and exclusive, like we have a dessert wine right now that's exclusive to the wine club. First dibs on new releases. We just released a Picpoul Blanc, and all the wine club members got early access to it. We'll do events for just exclusively to wine club members. So things like that. We're having to, the wine industry is very interesting at the moment. It's challenging. Yeah. So we're kind of looking at that member journey and seeing if there's more opportunity there than what we've traditionally done.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So
that seems very much like you to take what you're doing and keep it fresh and evolve it and not grow stagnant, even in that, even when it's just the expected, right, membership, but what it looks like doesn't have to be what's expected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I can't wait to see what you do.
And I know, and so neither does me too. I don't even know what I'm going to do. But I've got the right team.
You so
I've got
much.
the right team. I hired a new director of ops that comes straight from hospitality. And I've hired she actually hired our wine club coordinator as this level 1 SOM. And looking at it from a different angle, an outside perspective. So I brought an outside team in to look at it and say, what can we tweak? Yeah, without abandoning it altogether. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
So I asked you out of the gate, was this the plan? You're like, kind of, but you said it wasn't your plan, essentially.
Right.
But do you love doing it? Do you love what you do?
I like the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I love what I do. It's been challenging the last 2 years. There is a neo-prohibitionist movement that's coming out of England, right? And it was the breakup of the World Health Organization that, born out of that, they had to hire a new board and a new council for the World Health Organization. And they have dedicated, they're very prohibitionist mindset, right? Anti-alcohol mindset. So we're getting a ton of media feeds on a no alcohol movement, right? Plus the onset of the Fitbit and the Apple Watch. And everybody's tracking all their everything, right? Heart rate to steps to whatever. So now it's a health concern if you deviate from your 10,000 steps, right? Which is funny. And I think we're seeing the introduction of flavored spirits. You had the craft beer, which didn't really affect the wine industry too much. But now you've got your what they call ready to drinks. They're called RTDs, which are your Trulies and your White Claws. You've got distilled spirits in a can. And so now, our baby boomer generation is now moving on. And we've got a new generation of alcohol consumers that have more access to a lot of different things. My firm belief is that when you hit wine, you rarely go back, right? It's like brand loyalty, almost like beverage loyalty. I think it's like when you become a coffee drinker, it's kind of really hard not to stop, you know? And I find that people that move into wine, because it's not a party drink.
Right.
You sit out and relax with it, right? So when they move into that, if we can get them into our ethos, into our folds, then we will take and adopt those consumers that have been consumers of different beverages, CBD beverages, THC beverages are now a hit.
Yes.
And they call it right now in the current market, they call it zebra striping, which is the health nuts will do one mocktail or one drink without alcohol and one drink with alcohol, one drink. So I'll take it, right? As long as that every other drink's wine.
That's true. My husband does that all the time because that way he's pacing himself.
Exactly.
You can't do. Well, I'm sure people can. He shouldn't, but like you shouldn't drink a whole 12-pack in a day. Like throw some NAs in there, and so he does. And
that's interesting. So this is what we're finding to be on trend. And so all these different trends have come, and we're seeing the wine industry take a hit. So I'm embracing what we currently do and do well, and let's do more of that, which are the events, special events, the place, the time, the occasion, and wine being a vehicle, but not maybe our only vehicle for revenue. So
now, this is just my take. I've got my marketing hat on.
Okay.
Wine, like coffee, is an experience.
Right.
Is that true?
True.
And that's what you're selling, because you said White Claw, not to pick on one particular beverage, but is that really an experience? If I can go down to your local convenience store and be
you
like,
pull it off it's like your
and
monster.
drink? Exactly. Right. So I think that's, correct me if I'm wrong, Roxanne, that's what you guys are selling, quote unquote, selling at Lost Oak is an experience, right?
And wine just happens to be where we get the revenue from.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
So I want to have more food, right? So we're looking at food and beverage options that are not just wine.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I love it.
I'll be there for it.
Yeah. She's
It
coming.
sounds like you're there every other weekend.
It kind of sounds like I'm not, but
You and Sarah hiking or going
seems
to an
kind of
event.
like it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure
Why
Sarah and
not?
I will. Why
See, she comes for
not?
the experience. It's not just the
That's
wine.
right.
Don't make her an outcast.
Yeah, no,
Not there.
But because really, when we talk about
you
it,
get
and you were
there-
like, "What's your favorite?" and I'm like, "No, I've really enjoyed just hanging out.
Right.
Whether we're just acknowledging whether like it's been a rough day or it's been a fine day. It doesn't matter.
And you
whatever
can come
it
for
is.
half an hour, 4 hours.
Yes, and
And
both
you don't know.
happen.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so here's last question. Thanks for doing this. I don't drink anymore.
Okay.
That's just a personal preference of
Right.
mine.
Yeah.
But I'm not opposed to having a cocktail
Okay.
if in the right kind of situation. So if I were to come to Lost Oak for an event,
Right.
which wine should I drink?
I think for him, I would do the sangria.
Hold on.
What do you drink? Let's start here because we got to assess what your
Okay,
likes and dislikes are,
got it.
right? So if you were going to have a drink,
Okay.
not alcoholic, any drink, what do you pick up besides that Fiji water?
Well, it's normally not Fiji water, so I drink water, black coffee. I'll slip in a Topo Chico from time to time.
Yeah, me too.
And that's
we're
about
aligned.
it.
We're Myers.
That-
We have the
that's
same
about it,
right.
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I go out for a nice meal, I'll have maybe a Jameson on the rocks before my steak, and then I'll have a red wine with my steak.
Exactly what I do, whiskey and water. Yeah. So I think I would get you to try the Big Reds, honestly.
Okay.
A Big Red wine. Because you have very strong beverage preferences. You don't want it sweet. You don't want it
Ugh.
flavored.
Nope.
You don't want it creamy. You don't want the Starbucks mocha, whatever. So I would give you a red. And if you, because what I like about the sangria though is it's mixed with soda, so it's not as strong.
Okay.
So it might be a better entree for alcohol. That's not so.
But is it sweet?
It's not terribly sweet.
Okay. Good to know. Well, I'm gonna come.
Okay. We sold him.
Yeah.
Time to come.
I'll come to an event. It sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Dueling pianos or trivia or something. that you
Something
guys do.
all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come and then I'll have a cocktail.
Yeah. Then you
I
can text
like it.
us and we'll make some recommendations. You have to give us some feedback.
Okay, sounds good. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to
I
meet you,
really enjoyed it.
Mr. Myers.
You do have a really cool energy about you, and since I've been at the winery, I can see how that carries over
Yeah.
to what you guys are doing there. It's really neat.
It's really
The
fun.
culture.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you've
the drop the-
created a good one.
drop the mic moment. It's a culture. Bam.
Bam.
You wanna just
Roxanne
wrap it up
Myers.
then?
She's just going to cut it right there.
That would be really funny.
Show's over.
I'm really terrible as in really good at awkward goodbyes. Like I'm the Irish goodbye queen, and even on here it's like super weird, and it
Yeah.
like
So
so,
weird.
it's it really
is
is. I'm
weird.
sorry,
Land the
everyone.
plane. Land the
I know,
plane. Here it is.
and I think that should just be what it is we're just like.
That was the one-liner.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Heart of Commerce. She's Melissa. I'm Drew. Thank you, Roxanne. Really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
He's better at it than me. It's my show.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.